Right, so in front of me here, I have a Nintendo Switch Lite, and this has been sent to Nintendo. So I'm going to be careful what I show here, but the customer sent me a invoice that Nintendo sent to them. So I'm going to be careful on what I actually show on the stream because he's got the customer's address and everything on it. Basically, the total amount, the net total, £110 for this repair. This is what Nintendo have quoted. I'll show you what they've determined is wrong with it in a minute. So £110 the net total, £132 with VAT and tax. And yeah, so they want £132.30 to fix this console. Now, we're going to do it as an independent technician. Apparently the bad guys, so we're apparently the bad guys, the independent technician. You can't trust us because we will steal your data and install spying apps on your device, apparently. But they want £132 for the following faults. So we've got fault details. Does not charge. Very good fault details there, Nintendo. Diagnosis is damaged mainboard, damaged USB Type-C connector, out of warranty. Comments, bent pins, no turn on. Top notch. Brilliant. Fault details, stick problem. Diagnosis, left faulty stick in warranty. Well, what do you know, Nintendo? I wonder why that's in warranty. Fault diagnosis, stick problem. Or fault details, stick problem. Diagnosis, faulty right stick in warranty. No shit, Sherlock. Fault details, cosmetic damage. Diagnosis, cosmetic damage on housing, out of warranty. Main front cracked. Pretty sure that looks like a screen protector to me. But hey, Nintendo, you're right. You're fantastic, Nintendo. I'm pretty sure if you look pretty closely, you can even see the ridge where the screen protector is. Hey, look, it's just a screen protector. So Nintendo want to replace the entire housing because it's got a broken screen protector. Genius. Pretty sure that does not constitute cosmetic damage. In fact, this Nintendo, this Switch is in pretty good condition. It's in pretty good condition, all things considered. But they want to replace the housing. But hey, don't trust the independent technician. Trust Nintendo. Spare parts, product is replaced. Yeah. So basically, they don't want to repair it just because it's got a broken USB-C port. All they want to do is replace it. So it's not as simple as just taking an off-the-shelf USB-C port that they've probably got millions of. They want to replace the entire device. Hell no. Hell no. But anyway, we're going to fix it for less. So I'm going to take this apart. But first of all, actually, I'm going to just have a look at this USB-C port and see what they're on about. Yeah, okay. So it's got a damaged USB-C port. There you go. You can see that better now. Look. It's a frigging screen protector. You damn fools. Right. That should be all of it. Yep. There we go. Okay, so the the charger port is very obviously damaged. So what I'm going to do before I actually go ahead and test anything, I want to remove the old port. It's got to be removed anyway, and we might get some false readings if the port is still there when we get the multimeter on it. So I want to remove the port first. Set my hot air to 480 degrees Celsius. 40% airflow. Right, so I'm just going to get this connector off. You have to be careful with this because it is right next to the battery or battery connector. There we go. Right, so port off. So that port is scrap. I'm going to need to modify an original Nintendo Switch port because we can't buy these for the Switch Lite. So I'll have to modify a Nintendo Switch port to make it fit, which means using the Dremel. Okay, so port off and no damage to the traces. As you can see, no damage to the battery connector as well. Maybe a tiny bit of singeing, but meh, it's fine. Nice clean removal. Okay, so what I want to do then is I want to test the M92T36 and BQ24193. So these are the two main chips. BQ24193 is the battery management IC, and you can't actually buy these chips officially, but you can buy the BQ24196 from places like DigiKey and Mozart, and that does work. So the BQ24196 is pretty much the same chip, it's just branded different. You can buy BQ off like the 24193 off places like AliExpress and eBay. That coil there is fine. You can buy them off eBay, but if you want them really quick, like 2-day shipping, then you can buy the 24196 from a distributor. So I'm just checking these for shorts to ground. These don't go bad very often, but yeah, that one's all good. Usually what goes bad is this area here. This cap here is the CPU cap. That's absolutely fine. And interestingly, there doesn't appear to be any shorts on M92T36. So is this just a case of a bad port? Did Nintendo want to swap this entire board, or entire switch in fact, for the case of a bad port? Interesting. Let me just test M90 BQ again, just in case, because I don't know if I actually had a good enough connection to ground. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, all of that's testing fine. Absolutely fine. Let's have a look over here on the Max IC. That seems absolutely fine as well. Right, so let's get the port replaced. There we go. Yeah, Nintendo are just lazy. That's the problem. Right. Let's make sure my tip's nice and clean. Insert innuendo here. So I'm going to replace this solder with leaded solder now, just to be able to clean it out. So I want to clean out the holes so as I can drop a new port in nice and easy. And here we go. Okay, there's a dog going crazy. Okay, I'll get a fresh piece. Flip the board around to make it a little bit easier. Just change the MOSFET. Yeah, sometimes I get the shakes really bad as well. Sometimes you just can't help it. Here as well. Okay, that one's been a little bit of a pain. But never mind. That will melt when I drop the port on. That's fine. I'll leave that one as it is. So let's retin these pads. Pads look good. Cool. That will do nicely. I'll drop it back in the board holder. There we go. Nice and secure. Grab a new port. I'm running low on these. I need to buy some more. I'm down to about 10. Right. One thing I've been doing lately is just pre-tinning the pins on the port itself. So I'll do that as well. There you go. Beautiful, mate. Nice. I don't like to use a pump on the switches, mate, because the boards are really thin and the well, basically, if you use a desoldering pump, it's got a very good chance of tearing the traces because they are fragile. So I don't tend to use them on these. I probably could get away with it, but I'd rather not chance it. Right, so I'm going to grab the tweezers, or rather grab the port in the tweezers, and preheat this just a little bit. Drop the port on, and then I'm going to add some flux. Just going to make sure that's in line. And I really need to fix this hot air gun. It's in line now. So now I can flow it. So the hot air keeps coming up EO2. I'm not sure why. Press and hold that. Oh shoot. Oh, what's happened to my camera? How long's that been off, guys? Damn it. Screen gone black. Yeah, sorry mate. I don't know what happened then. I did press the button for it to come on and it never did. 30 minutes bollock you. Well, that looks pretty good to me. But let's check it anyway. Why is it slanted? There we go. That's nice and straight. I need to warm it up and get that flux off. Can't have kids, so I'm lucky. Kids are great. I love kids. Well, I love my kids. I love my kids. Right. Just clean off this flux. And I can test the pins. They do look nice and solid. Yeah, but you're just mean, Phil. That looked good to me. But I do have OCDs. So I'm going to touch them up. Let's just make 110% sure. Right. There we go. Another streamer started, but he's staying here. Cheers, mate. I appreciate that. Let's clean it again. They're definitely soldered now. Let's just flip the board around. So we're going to solder the ground legs next. That sizzling you can hear is just isopropyl alcohol. There we go. Perfect. I haven't got it on, mate. I forgot. I forgot. Whoops. I'll put it on for the next job. Right. I'm just going to clean up. There we go. Let's do the other side. So before I do the other side, I'm just going to wipe this down. Because otherwise it kind of defeats the object of cleaning the board, because the flux that's on the table will just end up back on the board. Let's not forget inside the port. Actually, I'm going to use a toothbrush for inside the port if I can find it. To be honest, I prefer to ultrasonically the switch Lite after a port change, because I've got to grind the port down anyway, and there'll be shards of metal there which I don't want to be leaving inside, so I'll just ultrasonic it once I'm done. That'll be quicker. Well, not quicker, it'll be easier than worrying about cleaning it fully now. It's only flux, so right now I'm not too worried, but I do have to grind it down anyway, so may as well wait and just ultrasonic it all together. Just a quick 3-minute ultrasonic, that's all it takes. It's not like it's getting rid of corrosion, it's just getting rid of the leftover flux and stuff. There we go. So that's nice and clean. Right, so I'm going to test it, and then as long as it works, I'll grind it all down so as the port fits. Because as I said, you can't buy these ports. You can buy them, but they're already ground down, and they cost like £9 as opposed to about 50p. So I'd much rather just grind my own down. So I'll make sure it turns on, and then I'll make the port fit. That's going to be the plan. So we want the LCD. We want a touchscreen, if we can get it in without too much hassle. Not really that fussed about the touchscreen, but I do want to make sure it works, because apparently it's damaged. Apparently. And we want the battery, and we want this daughter board. So the daughter board's got to be connected because the backlight is linked to it, so it has to be connected. Okay. So let's see what we've got. Do we get any life? We do, but we've got no display. We get life, but we get no display. We've got backlight. So the backlight's coming on. Yeah, that's coming across on screen, but there's no display. Right, I know this screen works 100%. So does the board actually, but I'm waiting for some connectors to come for that. But the power button daughter board's damaged as well. Right. So I know this screen works. Then I'm about to put this into. Backlight. Let's have a look. Why is my backlight not working on this one? Should be. So it's very doubtful to be the screen then, but there's no display. Right, there's no display on that board at all. That is very, very strange. The connector itself looks pretty mint. The backlight is turning on. Okay, so let me just turn the light back onto this. There we go. Under the scope we go. Alright, so let's look for any kind of damage. Right. Okay, let's inspect the LCD connector. LCD connector looks absolutely 100% fine. Yeah, that looks fine. No issues there from what I can tell. Wait. How's that gonna... That's not right. What's that BGA to? What? Hold up. That's got a BGA missing. That has literally got a missing chip. How? That's probably the display driver. How would it have a missing chip? It's never been opened before. Only Nintendo have had it. I haven't taken it off. I only received it yesterday. There is no way I've knocked that chip off. I haven't even been in that area at all. Like, genuinely not touched that area at all apart from to disconnect things. But there's a BGA chip missing, and that is probably the display driver. What the... Genuinely, look at the state of the chip. Like, look at the state of the pads. That was there at some point. That chip was genuinely there at some point. You don't get pads like that if the chip was never there. V-board incoming. Yep, pretty much. Alright, well, we're going to fix it. And then you all need to share this video to make it go viral. Huh? No, a BGA chip doesn't fall off. That's been damaged. That's been damaged at the Nintendo factory. That don't just fall off. Look, there's no way possible that fell off. Yeah, it's just 12 balls. It's not a major issue. There is no way that falls off, though. Right, well, now I need to inspect the rest of the board. I have slightly melted this catch, but it still works. Like, there's no physical way for that chip to just fall off. It don't work like that. Not at all. Right. Hmm. Okay, well, can't see any more issues. But that would never come from factory like that. Not a chance. No, it would not come from factory like that. Well, oh damn it. Don't know if you could even see that. Oh, this is what authorized repair gets you. Oh, that's hot. Oh, that's very hot. It's still hot. Hotter. Well, let's get it fixed anyway, shall we? There you go. Right, I need to give that 5 minutes to cool down, so I'm going to run and grab a cup of coffee. Because I need to let it cool down. Hoping this one works. Yeah, me too, mate. Nintendo are... Ha! Nintendo are shit. Because that's got a display. Boom. Yeah. Man, that was stressful. That was stressful. I need to let that battery charge though. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to drink my coffee, I'm going to take my painkillers because my neck's killing me. But yeah, sweet. So yeah, the display driver was completely missing. It was completely off the board. But this is the second time I've had a switch from Nintendo with damage. The first time it was the actual screen which was damaged. This appears to be charging anyway, so we have beat Nintendo. Yeah, that's on 2% now, so it is charging. So I'll leave that one charging. I'm going to leave it taken apart. Right, so yeah, I need to Dremel this port out just to make it fit. So basically the only difference between the Switch and the Switch Lite on the port is there's a lip on the port on the original Switch. So to make them fit the Switch Lite, we have to grind the lip away. So I'm going to get that done, and then I can put this back together and should be able to call it done. Right, so there's going to be a little bit of noise with this Dremel. This is a proper Dremel, by the way, not one of them cheap crap. I nicked this off my sister. Right, let me get this sorted. So there's going to be a little bit of noise here, so might want to turn it down. Headphone users beware. Okay, that might do it. Just have a look at that. That looks acceptable. So I'm just going to get rid of the little lip from inside. There we go. So basically what you want to do with this is you want to get it as flush to the board as you possibly can. Yeah, that's about right. So the problem is when you install a port, if you don't do that, it's going to overhang and cause the case to bulge out. So it doesn't actually sit properly inside the case if you don't. So it's a bit of a pain in the backside, but it is what it is. It's just something we have to do. So I need to clean out the port because there's going to be little metal shards inside there. So I need to clean that out. The way I'll do that is with a toothbrush and some isopropyl alcohol. So I'll just fill the port with IPA and scrub it out. So we don't want the metal shards to stay in there, obviously, because metal's conductive and it's got a potential of shorting it out. But in fact, it will short it out and it will damage the port if you leave it in there. So just clean it out as best you can. You can ultrasonic it as well, but it's not absolutely required. There you go. Okay, just going to give the rest of this a scrub. There you go. Okay, now I need to make sure it still charges and also make sure that it actually fits a charger inside there without any resistance. So I need to make sure that there's not too much of a lip on the inside where it's been ground down. So all I'm going to plug in is the battery. And then I'm going to put the ammeter on it. Yep, that goes in freely. And we get 0.47 amps. So, and then that's just turned on. And then it's going to faff around because that's what this Unity... Well, it's not actually the multimeter, it's the plug that I use. There you go, and 0.63 amps, which is fast charging. There's no LCD or anything plugged in, so I'm not expecting a full 1 amp of current draw there. That is charging fine. So now I can put it back together and hope that it fits in nice and snug. Time for the back screws, and then we're done. I think I charged up the battery last week, the other day. I think. Brian, thank you for the donation, mate. I appreciate that. Thank you, dude. To all, I wish you the best weekend ever. Thanks a bunch to the coder for a lot of learning. Thank you, mate. I genuinely appreciate that. That's much appreciated, bud. I will catch up on chat in a second, guys. I just want to get this finished, so I've got a full video's worth of content. Damn, I hate these screws. I'm not missing a screw. I'm not. I haven't missed a screw. That's an extra screw. That's lying around. That's been lying around. Just just for the record. Right, we have absolutely no bulge in the charger, or rather the charger port. Cool. Yeah, that's successful. Let me just show you that under the scope, and I'll show you what I mean. So yeah, usually when you do the charger port on these, if you don't grind them away, you get a bulge just here. And this hasn't got that because it's been ground down sufficiently. As you can see, it does line up perfectly with the case. And there's no damage to the inside of the port. So, happy days. This is a successful repair. So let's turn it on. We now get a display because we've fixed the mess that Nintendo left. And there you go. Right, it's on 15%, so I charged it a little bit. I will fully charge it before the customer requests it back. Before the customer has it back, rather. Yeah, happy days. This is working perfect. Yeah, so anyone that was here on Wednesday night will remember this switch. Happy days. So this was sent to Nintendo just for a charger port replacement, and they wanted £132 to replace the entire motherboard and to replace the display assembly, just because it's got a cracked digitizer, a cracked screen protector. It is the screen protector that's cracked. I would remove it, but I don't remove the customer's screen protector unless I've got one in stock, and I don't know if I've got one in stock. So I'm not going to remove the screen protector, but that screen is not damaged, and they wanted to replace the entire LCD assembly, which to me, that is absolutely out of order. They are providing misinformation to the customers. This is why we need right to repair, because the manufacturer, they ain't got a clue. Not the repair department, anyway. They haven't got a clue. They've literally took one look at that. They've like, yeah, damaged pins. Oh, all right then, the screen's cracked as well. Within seconds, I could tell that there was a screen protector on this. Within seconds. And the reason for that is because it overlaps the case. It hasn't been installed fully. It hasn't been installed properly. It's slanted. You can tell straight away that this is a screen protector. And Nintendo wanted to replace the entire assembly, which is really annoying. But never mind. It is what it is. This console's working now. I'm happy with the repair. Customers, I'm sure, are going to be happy. Yeah, that's pretty much it on that one.